this here is actually one of my own videos. So I noticed a lot of libertarians actually found my video talking about the the Libertarian Party inviting Trump to stop by and speak and try to convince them to vote for him instead. A couple things to point out. One thing, I was definitely wrong on whether or not this was good or bad for the Libertarian Party. I think one thing I underestimated was that this would bring a lot of eyeballs to the Libertarian Party, and we're seeing that here. If you look here, this week is not over, so the Google trend has not been filled out yet. But the I guess on a scale of 0 to 100, the Libertarian Party is at a 53 of interest when it comes to Google searches for the week of May 26th through June 1st. And if you go back to that equivalent week right here, May 21st through May 24th through May 30th of 2020, they were at a measly 15%, not 15%, but measly 15. So that's 15 compared to 53. That's a big difference. So the Libertarian Party is arguably way more popular now than it has ever been before. Now, another thing too, a lot of people in my comment section were mad. They were like, yo, not a newbie. You really voting for Biden? Man, you're hating on Trump. Trump was the greatest president in the history of America. Let me be perfectly clear, like Obama loves to do so much. I'm actually voting for Donald Trump. Now, the reason I criticize him in this and many of my other videos is that I don't think he was a perfect president, and he wasn't even the best pick when it came to the GOP nomination. I think Vivek would have been the best choice, but a lot of people were blinded by their love for Donald Trump. A lot of Republicans and people on the right, I think, are unwilling to hold Trump accountable for many of the things that he did while he was in office. For example, Trump passed more anti-gun regulations than Joe Biden or Barack Obama. I don't see anyone talking about that. I don't see anyone bringing that up. Trump also ballooned the national debt by giving out stimulus checks. No one is saying, hey, did we really need stimulus checks? Do we really need to do that? I don't see anyone criticizing him for that either. So Trump has done things that were bad for the country, I think. Now he still did some great things. He did a great job of maintaining the economy prior to COVID, right? He did some great things when it came to like drilling and fracking, greenlighting the Keystone Pipeline and all that stuff. So by no means do I think that Trump did more harm than good. I actually think that he's probably one of the most successful presidents that we've seen in the past handful of decades. There's certainly people who give him for the money, but Trump did a really good job of delivering on many of his promises. But I'm not going to pretend that he was perfect. So for those of you who want me to pretend that he's perfect, I'm sorry. Just kidding. I'm not sorry at all. Trump wasn't perfect. It is what it is. So yes, I'm voting for Trump, but yes, I'm also willing to criticize him too, because I'm not a MAGA robot who's just going to say that Trump is good no matter what he does. So sorry to disappoint if you were looking for a yes man. But let's go through some of these comments, because I did want to respond to some of these more directly. User Undecipherable says, it does make sense. Consider who they nominated. It is a masterstroke. That also was true. They hired they nominated some like Chase dude who's like a progressive liberal who, yeah, some people were calling him a communist. Just in general, he does not gel with the Libertarian Party as a whole. So he seemed like a poor choice. 1/3 or so of the Libertarians are now without a home. Even if a fraction of them vote their conservative side, it will make a large difference in a couple of states. Interesting. I'd like to know more analysis on that. The other 2/3 may draw many of the disaffected lefties that are side-eyeing Biden. That also is relatively true, I think. Now it says here, the reason Libertarians wanted Trump is for the exposure for our party. We can still be a party of principle and be okay with hearing Trump speak at our convention. That's true. My problem isn't with Trump speaking at the convention. That wasn't what made no sense to me. The part to me, it was not just that, but it was literally in the invitation saying, hey, convince us to vote for you. Like, that would be a strange thing to do. It'd be strange to be like, hey, tell us not to vote for our people. Like, right? Like, it just doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. So it was the wording in the invitation that didn't make a whole lot of sense, but I will agree that, inviting him was a W. I was wrong. Whether we like it or not, he is the front runner, not just for the rep nomination, but for the presidency. We're not going to vote for him. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to click that. We're not going to vote for him. We're smart enough to know not to do that. But why wouldn't we want him to come to the convention? We're not advertising Trump, as you said. I mean, you kind of are. You're like platforming him and say, hey, tell people to vote for you. So like you're platforming him to a degree at least. Trump can be advertised. Yes, he can. He is the most famous person ever. Well, yeah, it's like saying Coke can't be advertised because it's the most popular drink ever. Yes, it can be. They literally do Super Bowl ads, okay? Like they still can be advertised even though they're like the biggest or most famous. Everyone knows who he is. The idea that Libertarians having an our convention is going to boost his popularity makes me laugh. I mean, it might make it. I think it did end up boosting popularity among Libertarians, considering who they ended up nominating. So, not sure how well that sentence aged. If anything, it just confirmed everything we already thought. He isn't a libertarian. He doesn't support our agenda, and he won't get the majority of libertarian votes. That probably is true. But I don't know anyone who went into this thinking that Trump was a libertarian. Like, bro, if you thought Trump was a libertarian, pay more attention to politics. There's no way Trump is like a mid to big government Republican. There's nothing about that that's aligned with libertarianism at all. It says, but we will take any leverage we can get to sway him even a little bit in a libertarian way. This is good. And if having him at our convention gives us recognition and maybe even a little leverage, we should absolutely have him speak there. If he says things we agree with, pardoning Ross, we cheer. And if he says dumb crap, I was an anti-war president who took on the military-industrial complex, we stay silent or boo loudly. I mean, mixed on that. I don't. Trump didn't necessarily stand up to the military-industrial complex in a big way. I mean, he didn't set off any new wars. He also had to sandblast ISIS into oblivion. So I don't know, but and he did listen to generals when they were like, "Hey, don't pull out of Afghanistan because it'll end up being a dumpster fire." And Trump ended up, Joe Biden ended up doing that exact same thing. So I found that kind of funny. But I mean, he didn't capitulate to the military-industrial complex in a way that a lot of other presidents, I think, would have in the past. Oh, and also a nice word from CJ Giordano here. Also, I am a libertarian for adults only. No to LSD for babies. Okay, nice. Yes, if you missed it, one of the things here I said was, hold on, let me see here. Where's the? Oh yeah, hold on. It's got to be here somewhere. Yeah, here. Hold on. The Libertarian Party would love to do if they had the party, but if they had power, but they also would like to do things I wouldn't like to see, like make it legal for parents to give like babies LSD. That's just not a particular thing that I want to have legalized in this country. I mean, yeah, like I think the extreme libertarians would want like babies to be allowed to have LSD. I'm not a big fan of that. I'm not a big fan of that. Chris Stevens says, this clown, I mean, true. Like I bought an Old Navy banana hat because bananas made like pro-Palestinians mad. Okay. I am a clown to some extent. I have to admit that. Heath McDonald says Fauci has been in that position way before Trump, and any lockdowns were state lockdowns. Don't blame Trump for that. You just don't like the dude. I do like the dude. I'm actually voting for him, but that's a really good point. The problem is Fauci went up to podiums and lied during Trump's presidency. So even though, yes, it is true that Trump was not behind the lockdowns, he still gave Fauci more power than he should have had because he should have been fired, right? You can say one thing in your emails and then another thing from the podium. That's not a proper way to behave. And yeah, I did respond and said, I'm actually voting for Trump at the 2024 election, LOL, which is true. Here from Donald said, libertarians don't have values, LOL. I mean, they do. It's like no government, basically, right? Let's see here. Von, whoever this person is, Doofenshmirtz, thinks this election will be close. Biden will win in a landslide. Don will say anything, which is funny. I mean, that guy's taking don't believe the polls to an extreme, right? Because Trump is winning at all the swing states. This election will be close, but I think that Trump has the edge here. Leah Mari wrote something interesting. It says here, from the outside looking in, after the fact, it seems to be the Libertarians invited Trump just to roast him. 2 thumbs up for whoever invited him. The roast was priceless. Well, I mean, the person who got roasted was actually the Libertarian Party, and Trump roasted them masterfully. He was like, oh, you guys want to lose then? Okay, keep on getting your 3%. like, Trump delivered some savage burns during this speech. And to the point where, like, I think the Libertarians must have been looking at themselves behind the curtains like, ooh, we better not do this again. Like, I don't think we'll ever see Trump at another Libertarian convention after how this all went down. Big Z made a good point here. Says all the presidential candidates were invited. RFK was there, Biden declined. That's a good point. I think I could be wrong, but I think that someone else had pointed out also that this is like a normal thing for them to do, to invite other candidates. So that's also something to take into account. VZ says, I miss the Great White Hope and can't wait until he's back. I mean, does he even count as white though? He's orange. He's orange, but that was a funny comment. If he meant it jokingly. Richard King says, MAGA jabs nationalism. Nah, I'm good, homie. I'm good. And Joe Sinet said, now do Biden. I said, maybe this is what you're looking for, pointing to this video here. So Joe Biden, what's the true state of the union under Joe Biden, where I criticize Biden heavily for how he's been running the country. Yeah, if you guys think that I'm pro-Trump, or like if I'm anti-Trump or that I'm pro-Biden, like, watch more of my content, because that's not the case. That's not the case. This person here says libertarians hate the destruction of the U.S. too. Right, I'm not saying you don't. I'm not saying that any people necessarily, the Democrats, Republicans, or libertarians necessarily coming at politics or at Trump being like, yeah, let's destroy the country. Like, you'll hear a lot of rhetoric bordering on that on talk radio. I don't think it's true. They're not trying to destroy. Even Trump might say stuff like this too. I don't think that I don't think that people are trying to destroy the country. They're trying to make the country better. Now, whether that actually makes the country better or whether or not that tears it down is a whole other story. But I don't like to attribute malice where it doesn't necessarily have to be the answer. Now, here we've got this comment from the Duck of Doom. They invited Trump, RFK, and Biden. Only Biden declined. This actually brings a lot of media coverage to the party. I put that out. I appreciate him for pointing this out to me as well. The legacy media traditionally hates covering the Libertarian Party and basically inflated the Green Party from nothing in the late 90s, just so they could distract people from the Libertarian Party while still placating viewer demands for third-party coverage. Even at a time when the Libertarian Party was larger than all third parties combined, it was starting to claim major party ballot access in some states, making them a real potential threat to the Big Two. The Green Party remains a hollow shell propped up by the media. RFK's Libertarian convention speech just secured my vote. I think he's still ramping up, but Trump is near peak while Harris is starting the downslope. No way, Biden is just still in office this time next year, even if he wins the November vote. Section 4 of Amendment 25 is the obvious plan. Could be. You say some reasonable things here. Although I'm not sure if Trump is at his peak. He's nearing it, but I don't know if he's at his peak quite yet. Also, yeah, I don't know if anyone's talked about. I don't think I've heard anyone mention the Green Party, except for fringe progressives on the internet and like Democracy Now. Like, I don't think I've heard anyone else. Who was it? Like Jill Stein? They got the same old lady running for president like for 15 years in a row. She ain't never gonna give it a rest. Didn't she get like arrested at one of those like pro Hamas terrorist protests too? Like, ugh. But honestly, she probably would be a better person for a lot of Democrats to vote for than Joe Biden, to be fair. Wayne Bell said Biden is lame as Trump. So do a lot of people, actually. Chris Stevens said, wow, what a sophisticated comment. Yeah, because he couldn't think of anything better to say in response. Turner Ferguson says, LOL, this is why you got 166 views after 2 days. People like Trump. In fact, a lot of people do, no matter race or color. True. I'm a living testament to this because I'm black and I like Trump. Now, well, to a degree, I don't really like him as much as I used to, but I like him enough to vote for him at least. But I mean, also, hold on, let me see here. Also, like if you look at the views, actually, I got 621 views on this video. 621. Now, you have to consider the fact that I only have 64 subscribers. So my videos aren't going to go gangbusters. A lot of my videos usually get up to like just 3 views after like the first day or so. If you go to my most popular videos, like this is actually one of my biggest videos, right? The one that's above this, like it's in the top 5. Number 4 is my video about Nick Merckx, talking about how some crazy people Call of Duty got rid of Nick Merckx when basically he said he was against like the woke like gender ideology stuff, or at least he didn't want it to be pushed and propagandized on his kid. Call of Duty was like, what? You don't want your kid to be subjected to propaganda? We can't have that here. And they got rid of his skin in the video game. And then gamers, in return, started boycotting Call of Duty and decided to support Nick Merckx. So I did a video about that. It was a more critical situation where he lied about Mew Kitty. I don't think it was on purpose. He just got some facts wrong. That got me a lot of views relatively for me. This is a very early video for me where I reacted to Brett Cooper reacting to Hassan Piker. I think Hassan Piker in that reaction was reacting to Brett Cooper as well. And there's this video here. Our call for revival got tangled up with Cedarville University. Title IX protests. Cedarville University is my alma mater. I've covered them in the past here and there. Like I've talked about the Cedarville stabbing. That's the video that the Libertarian Party video just overtook. So like if there's like really big things happening at Cedarville University, I do cover it sometimes. I don't think I'll cover them as much in the future because of my age. I don't have as many connects to Cedarville anymore. But I'm not gonna shy away from reacting to them. So, but yes, yes, I have 64 subscribers. So yeah, no, my videos aren't gonna get a crazy amount of views from the jump, right? Like channel growth does not come easy. It does not come quick either. Gut Lunch says liberal doesn't mean you're a Democrat, and conservative doesn't mean you're a Republican. You could be a conservative Dem or a liberal Republican. I mean, yeah, technically you can be. Gut Lunch says being a Democrat is the same. No, actually, it's the same comment. Hold on, it's the same comment. Heath McDonald said, dude, what party was Lincoln and what was the KKK? And then, of course, more going on to the party switches. I'm not going to get into all that. So dude just said the same thing 3 times. I don't know why. I don't know why he did that. But anyways. Oh, hey.
Dude, do your be real.
Wait. Go down. Wait, get down a little bit further.
Be real.
Wait, is that your... Oh, okay.
Do your be real.
Okay.
Dude, you
They're silly. Well, hey, I did my Be Real on time, so I actually have to give them credit for busting in here and letting me know. But anyways, those are my thoughts on the Libertarian video. If you guys have any more questions, leave comments down below and I will address them, or join my Discord. It is dscrd.ntwb. It's the place you want to be if you want to chat with me. You could also influence the things that I react to and talk about. Also get updates on when I go live, and all that stuff. So join my Discord as well. I would appreciate that.